Okay, starting the recording. As I mentioned already, she's actually out of the country.
Oh wow.
We,
Lucky.
I don't know. Yeah, we didn't have a chance to talk, so I don't know if it's on business or pleasure or what. It sounds provocative. Out of the country. Um, Let me start by, I guess, apologizing for the rocky start of the Ascend program. We were in the process of trying to determine what Holly and Danny were going to do next, and then I got kind of bogged down with a bunch of different new members coming in and a bunch of stuff going on there. So a little bit of a distraction, but in the meantime, I have kind of put the program together, and I'm gonna kind of walk you through it today just to help you to understand what's
Okay.
coming next. But before we get there, tell me what you're up to. Tell me what this week looks like in the context of the Bod Squad, the objectives and the progress you've made and the goals that you're setting out.
Uh,
So tell me about
it's
this week.
it's been pretty good. Um, let me put my foot in. I feel like just with I saw the dietitian Thursday, and she didn't like have much to give me per se. We just kind of talked about my history and like what I'm struggling with and what my goals are. But I feel like it's going to be very helpful. I'm going to start seeing her every 2 weeks. And I think that'll really help me figure out what I need to like add into my just like eating habits
Yeah,
to kind of figure out, why I'm not necessarily losing the weight. But overall, Um, I had a really big flare up over the weekend. Um, and so I was kind of worried about like how long it would last. But by like Tuesday, I felt pretty back to normal. And have felt, pretty decent the rest of this week. Um, so just trying to still stay, um, I guess, active and getting outside. It's been a little hot, so
yes, for
that's
sure.
been harder, but still trying to make that a priority. And then with the eating, still I dropped down to the 14, and I feel good. Like I feel, like it's not a lack of food, I guess. Um,
Yeah, yeah. So you,
so
so you feel energetic at 14.
yeah, I still
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
energetic. It's not, too little. Um, and just kind of, I guess, doing that in the interim. The dietitian did say like she wants to like work with me in what we do. Um, she doesn't want to like change that and get me like off another, tangent or track. Um, so we'll just kind of work within the guidelines that we've been working in and just figure out and tweak, as I need for my own health issues.
Did you have a chance to get into any of the details with her about the program, about the
Um,
program that you're on now?
about kind of how we do the points and kind of focus more on um I'd say like the macro end, and like what the guidelines are there.
Yeah,
Um so she's on board with that. And then we did like a deep dive into like my history, um so that she can kind of get a big picture sort of thing.
yeah. Okay, because I think what will be interesting is if she can help pinpoint any particular micronutrients that need to be supplemented in some way,
Yeah.
or particular food items that would have those micronutrients in them that she would want you to emphasize in some way.
Yeah.
Because this whole program is not, it's kind of health neutral, which means it kind of covers everybody. And because you have some specific issues, you've done so much blood work and so much other stuff. I'm sure you have some of those. I mean, you're taking supplements now, probably
Yeah.
guided by your doctor. Maybe the dietitian can kind of tie the two programs together.
Yeah.
It's always best to get, what you can out of real food. And the challenge nowadays is the soil depletion is a real thing. So some of the foods that used to be, one you know, uh, palette of supplemental, value is now a totally different level because
Yeah.
things have been stripped out. But anyway, yeah. So the program that you're on now, we kind of need to get a little more formalized with it, and this is with Christine as well. We have the opportunity. This meeting is a great thing, I think, on Thursday nights, and we'll continue to do that. But we have an opportunity to have FaceTime more in the gym as well, and
Yeah.
and it's kind of program design is that it's on you to schedule that and to be disciplined about it. But if you and I decide that we would both work better with some structure there, then we could set a time every week that we get together and kind of just talk about things. But also, you're getting the standard questionnaire at the beginning of the week, like how was your week, and do the rating system. And I see that. So when you do that, it's a time to reflect or a time to make some comments or just say, yeah, some things worked, some things didn't. And then I can look at that and we can kind of, decide if we need to follow up on it or have continued dialogue. So if
Okay.
think we both get into that habit, it'll help us be more disciplined about the communication. On
Yeah.
top of that, I think, and your dietitian may have the same opinion or similar, probably won't be a conflicting opinion, but I think we ought to get into the habit of doing the weekly the weigh in and percent body fats. Just to get back into that habit. So
Okay.
we can do that on Mondays, we can do it on Fridays, whatever works for you, whatever you're most comfortable with. And it's not a test. It's just seeing where we are. It's just seeing we just made this big points adjustment. And I'm curious to see, week on week on week what's going on, because I've seen a bunch of data from the program already for the last year, almost a year and a half now, and so I know what the patterns are, and your pattern, if it starts following that pattern, then it'll kind of be meeting my expectations, and if it doesn't, then we need to take another look at not only the points, but also the actual foods that you're filling your points with every day.
Yeah.
So to that point, the more photo logs you do, the more information I'll have, the more view I will have on what you're doing as well.
Yeah.
You
I need
wanna
to get
So let's say if you do a meal prep for the week, take a photo of it just to kind of lay it out and say, okay, here's my plan. Then I can say, oh yeah, that looks great. Or hey, you forgot to, maybe you could add some quinoa, or I'm just making stuff up, but maybe you can add another piece of fruit every other day or something like that.
Okay.
By the way, for the first time in my life, I pulled a mango out of the refrigerator today and just took a knife and started cutting into it to eat it. And I didn't
And
know
you
what I was doing.
you could
I was expecting to get, I didn't know. I can't remember one fruit from the other. I didn't know if I was going to get a pile of little black seeds in the middle or or one giant seed in the middle. But do you know what I ended up getting? Have you ever cut into a mango before?
I mean, they're really pain in the butt to cut, so not usually.
Yeah, so that was my observation as well. I was trying to cut kind of like you would cut an orange, just make slices and then eat on the slices kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I found it took a while to figure this out, but I found that the center, it is kind of a seed structure, or it's a core, and it's not rounded at all. It's flat as a pancake, and it kind of goes from one end to the other in the middle of the mango. So you
Really?
have some slices that are it's like two halves to the mango,
Hmm.
and you can cut slices from the one half and slices from the other, but you actually the center, the whole center structure is not edible. So anyway, that's what I learned today. But
Interesting.
so so there's the opportunity. The more you share with me what you're doing, especially if you're adding new recipes to your menu,
Yeah.
then the more observations I can make or suggestions I can make to try different things.
Okay.
Um, to that point, one of the benefits of the Ascend program is you get a monthly kind of a supplemental recipe pack for new things to try, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and snacks. So you can kind of add it to your arsenal, and you have right now in your access a resource folder, if you will, that has all of the recipe packs that have been created last year and this year all the way through June. So in fact, I'm going to share screen to show you if I can find it. Yeah, there it is. Let's see. Hold on. Figure out. That's not right. I guess I'm not seeing what I normally see. Let's see if this works. That's just a whiteboard. Are you seeing the whiteboard only? Or
Yeah.
can you see the rest of my screen?
No, I just saw your mouse.
Let me try something else. Share screen. I usually click on this and then I can see one of my options is hold on. Let me try something else. This has worked every time I've ever done
Oh, there.
it. Okay, now you can see it?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So here it is. Here's the June recipe pack. And like I said, you have multiple months in prior dates that you can look through as well. But what it gives you is a breakfast idea, and they all look great, and they seem to be fairly easy to fix with all really delicious sounding ingredients. But you can just see this is a breakfast. It's like scrambled eggs with a bunch of stuff in it, and
Hmm.
then this blackberry grapefruit salad on the side. It just looks like a great, you would never get tired of it kind of breakfast.
Yeah, it looks
And I
good.
think, and you got to figure out how long it lasts, but if you follow this recipe, you're making 12 points. So you're making multiple meals, obviously.
Yeah.
You can either feed other people in the family, or you can squirrel this stuff away and make it once and then have it for the rest of the week kind of thing. And then here's another idea for lunch. It's a Thai chicken quinoa recipe. And again, it tells you the points and tells you how you can break the thing up and to make different meals. And then here's another one. It sounds so good. It looks great. Mediterranean style. I mean, what could be wrong with that, right? Shrimp and zucchini. So that's that, 12 points. So you can break that into meals. And then the dinner ideas. Here's a pesto chicken dinner. Here's never thought of this, but you can make little mini meatloaves instead of
Yeah.
having a giant one. You can make individuals. And the thing about that is you're getting more surface area to do more seasoning with and so and whatnot. So it'd be a lot
Hmm.
more interesting than making a hamburger patty every night. And then here's a snack idea. I don't know if this would appeal to you or not. I would love it if I had this in my freezer all the time to just reach in and grab whenever I'm craving ice cream, which
Yeah.
we don't inventory here anymore. Uh, something like this would be awesome. Um, while I have you on screen share, maybe I can show you. Can you see this? It looks like the calendar for the month of June.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're in this week here. So what we've already talked about is the weekly check-in and the weekly questionnaire. The weekly check-in is just a reminder to reach out to me if you feel like there's something to share to get a little more formal with, and we reach out at that time. And then the weekly questionnaire is an opportunity for you to say, hey, you could say, hey, it's a 9 because I just talked to my dietitian and she's on board. And, so, it kind of cuts into some of our conversation here, but it also, it just gives us more substance to discuss when we do get together.
Okay.
You did a program last week called Plan for Success. Does that ring a bell?
Yes.
Okay, so there's the opportunity now in the weeks ahead to execute that plan for success. So you're just going back to the details of that write-up. And this is a reminder of what the 5 different parts of the program are. And this stuff, all of this stuff, I'm sure you've already realized, there's a whole lot of different template options to take when you're trying to plan your day, your week, your month. And this is just a weekly reminder. Okay, let's spend a few minutes to think about what it is I really, really need to get done and has to get done. And then you start going through the list and prioritizing all the way down to the stuff that can be missed and not be too painful. So you're going to get that little reminder every Sunday, and so will Christine. And then each week, not this week, but in the following, for the next 6 weeks, starting this Sunday, you'll be getting a program like you got last week. Last week we had a window of tolerance program. It was kind of introducing that idea. Did you get a chance to read through all those? So that's a lot of that is just packaged stuff we've already seen in other formats.
Yeah.
But it's always useful, I think, to go through that and because you'll see something, I haven't thought about that way to control, or that way to reflect on myself, or reflect on being present, or things like that. So building awareness is super important. We know that self-awareness is crucial, and this gives us a checklist of things we can think about to enhance that self-awareness. And then to try to understand, I feel this every day at the gym. Whenever somebody makes a giant chalk mess, I'm always walking through my self-awareness protocols. It's like, okay, how do I want to handle this, or who do I want to talk to, or should I just go grab a mop and clean it up and chat with people while I'm doing it? And with a lot of people, that works. They see me happily cleaning up their mess, and they say, "Oh, I guess I could have done that. That'd probably be the right thing to do." But then there are a ton of people who don't even see me doing that. Even if I'm standing there talking to them, they don't even notice I'm cleaning up their mess, and they make the same mess the next day. So, I have daily opportunities to self-regulate. And to figure out whether or not I'm operating inside my window. But then just going through the exercise to try to broaden the horizons of the window.
Yeah.
That's good stuff. And we talked about the meditation. You gave us some ideas on what that might look like. And so we can all benefit from that. And hopefully this group will grow, when we get through the next Bod Squad, we'll have more people joining in to Ascend, and we'll have the ability to, you'll be one of the veterans by then, and I want to try to get Kevin back in too. But we'll have a lot of wisdom that we can share and go back and forth on to get to just share best practices on that. So it's good to hear. It's very good to hear that, I asked you, did you see it? Did you read it? And you say, yes, I did.
Yeah.
You're ready, you're hungry, and you're going to be, you're going to get some good stuff. Next week, we did a thing a couple weeks ago on dopamine and serotonin and the others. And next week it's going to do a revisit on dopamine. Let me just show you what that looks like. There's a kind of a fun to watch video about a guy that goes through a 7-day quote unquote dopamine detox, just to see what that's like. And all that means is that he stopped looking at social media, stopped scanning TikTok, and got back to the way life used to be before all that stuff existed.
Yeah.
And then he had a professional neuroscience person do a brain scan before and after. And it's a pretty humorous thing. It's fun to watch. So you'll be getting that. And then this is a summary of the key takeaways of that video, which is fun to do. So you'll get that, and you'll get, some different other things about, okay, how can you limit social media? And then, it's basically a course of activities and things to read during the week. One of them, I'm trying to remember where I saw it. One is a really interesting summary of the value of, I can't find it right now, but it's the value of taking cold showers.
Oh, I do that.
Okay, now tell me how you do it. I mean, what sort of protocol do you use to take a cold shower? Are you just on super cold shower for a period of time?
Yeah, that's basically it. I would love to be able to like actually cold plunge, but for right now, I take my normal shower and then I have a timer in the shower. And so I'll set the timer. Usually it's 3 to 5 minutes, depending on how
Oh my
much
goodness.
time I have, and I'll just turn the water as cold as I can and just really focus on my breathing.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
You're so way ahead of the curve on so many different issues. I guess because you've had challenges, you've had a strong desire to sort through them.
Yeah, I'll try anything and everything to help my inflammation.
Yeah, that's super, super cool. I will be honest, I try, especially in the morning. I've just been through and sometimes even coached all 5 classes. And then
Mhm.
I squeeze in my workout sometimes with 1 or 2 people in a small class, and other times not until 10 a.m. So I've been there since 4:45 in the morning until past 10.
Yeah.
And 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 then I go home and I jump in the water, to cool off. But in the wintertime, I'm not so motivated to do that
Yeah.
because I've been freezing cold all morning long. So my discipline around this subject, it's definitely seasonal. In
Yeah.
the summertime, it's easy to turn it on cold because the water's not that cold in the shower. The pipes are heated, the groundwater's heated, and so you're getting significantly higher water even at the coldest setting. So that's easy. In the wintertime, I can't take any more misery of being cold.
Yeah, I don't blame you.
Do you do 3 to 5 minutes even in the wintertime?
So I just started doing this, I would say, after I had my son. So that was in December. So um I don't know, like it wasn't I was cooped up at home all day, so it didn't really phase me, but it'll be interesting to see come, this upcoming winter because I do not like the cold.
Yeah.
Um so working out in the cold and then coming home and showering it'll be interesting.
Yeah. So anyway, one of the tricks that's presented on the shower thing, on the cold thing, is to ease yourself into it like you do. So you take your regular warm shower and then you close it out with something that's brisk and cold, and it's not the full effect because you're not really hitting yourself with super cold, but it's better than nothing for
Yeah.
sure. And it just kind of winds down your systems in so many different ways that it provides a really good opportunity to, but it has become extremely popular in the athletic world too.
Yeah.
And,
Oh yeah.
and that's why, and when we run our competitions, we'll bring a whole ice bath out and people will jump into that thing in between events, just to get some quick recovery. But the whole thing about, getting a dopamine kick out of that is and serotonin and other things too. It's just kind of funny, that, your brain would respond like that. But
Yeah. It
it's
helped.
it's definitely stimulating. It makes me feel better immediately.
Oh
And
yeah.
it's just good for inflammation and so forth and so on. So that's the kind of thing that, this program throws a lot of things together that most people haven't seen yet. Now, people in CrossFit world and especially people that have jumped into this program are usually people that are fairly well read on mindfulness and taking care of your body and smart nutrition and all that. And so this is just it's kind of a refresher course for a lot of them, and it sounds like
Mhm.
for yourself as well. But having the opportunity to talk through it with other people in this kind of format is extremely useful too. But
Oh yeah.
anyway, keep reading everything you see,
Okay.
and I mean, usually in these Thursday night meetings, you do a great job of giving us inspiration because you're executing so much stuff and seeing the results. I think that let's get into the habit of the weigh-in every week so
Okay.
we can monitor what's going on. If you're not losing a pound a week, I don't want you to lose much more than 1 or 2 pounds a week
Yeah.
because that's the healthiest way to do it. I want all your numbers to go up in the gym. That's what I'm most excited about. I want to make you a super capable human being. But the weight, um, gradual is better than fast.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Gradual change is better than fast. If we find gradual change at 14 points, then we keep doing it. If we don't find it, we take a closer look at the specifics on the food
Okay.
and decide if we need to change. There might be a little subtle change, like, okay, that particular dish, let's cut that rice content down in half, or change from a white potato to a sweet potato, or something simple like that.
Yeah.
Or let's go from those oranges you've been eating to let's try apples or let's try strawberries. Get a little less sugar content,
Yeah.
little things like that. So one last question I have, and I'll pose this to Christine as well, is the Thursday 7:30 p.m. is that still an ideal time for you? The reason I ask is I'm going to have a little bit more flexibility going forward. So I've got more coaches now brought in that are trained up and ready to roll. And in fact, I didn't coach tonight. I didn't even show up to the gym tonight. So 5 and 6, Jenny and Jolynn, I call them Batman and Robin. Now there's a big argument about who's Batman.
Oh gosh.
I don't know if you've met Jolynn or not, but the more you get to know her, the more you can understand that coming out of her mouth. Like, what about me? I want to be Batman. Um, anyway,
Um,
they're good. They make a superb team, and they're going to be
yeah,
so good going
they're
forward.
great.
So that gives me a little more flexibility to have the meeting earlier on Thursday. I don't really want to have it on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. I think Sunday night's just too early to, it's like when you hear the tick, 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 tick of 60 minutes, it's kind
Yeah.
of depressing
Yeah.
because Monday morning's right around the corner. So
Yes.
I don't want to be the tick, tick, tick on Sunday night.
Yeah, please don't. No, 7:30 works good because um my son's usually down by 7, so that gives me a little bit of time then to eat dinner and stuff, and then we're
Okay.
ready.
Okay. So I'll talk to Christine too, and absent any compelling other discussion, we'll just stick with what we have, and
Okay.
that works with me. Anyway, so we're back on board. The next 6 weeks are fully populated, and I can
Okay.
tell you I'll probably tell you what's coming and give you a little snapshot of what's coming each Thursday, and we'll talk a little bit about what we read through in the week that we just went through, and that'll form some of our conversation, and then we'll talk about how y'all are doing, what your experiences are. I want to hear every time you have a meeting with your nutritionist. I want to hear about it too, because
Yeah, for sure.
we can all learn together. Okay, sounds good. I'll see
Thank
you in the
you.
gym tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds
That's
good. Have a good night.
okay. See you then.
Bye.
Bye bye.